Today I'm in the French Alps near a town called Samoine, and I'm at Cirque du Fer-à-Cheval, which is a stunning landscape in the basin of the mountains. And I thought it'd be the perfect location to do some field recording. There are some waterfalls being fed by the snowmelt. There's the river Gifre, which I think I'm pronouncing correctly. And the aim of today is to make a small pack of alpine sounds that you yourself can download if you so wish and either listen to or use in projects. So come along on this beautiful blue sky day and let's do some field recording. I thought I'd talk a little bit about this landscape and what is around us. So these are limestone cliffs or mountains, and they are formed in this amphitheatre or horseshoe shape, hence the name Fer-à-Cheval, which means horseshoe in French. And this landscape has formed through glacial erosion. The waterfalls are fed by the snow melt and the glacial melt. So in the summer, there are dozens of waterfalls all cascading down the side of these cliffs or mountains. And at the moment, it's early March. There's still quite a bit of snow on the ground, but it's definitely getting a bit slushy. Melting is definitely happening. And the river along here as well, we have these small torrents of the river, but there's also these dried up riverbeds, I imagine in the summer are full and gushing, depending on how much snow and how much snowmelt there is. I'm interested in how this landscape might be changing due to climate change. I imagine as there's less snow in the winter, it would lead to lower levels in the rivers, or perhaps if there's quick mass melting events, then you might get these sudden deluges through the valley. But yeah, I might do some research into that and how this landscape's changing. I'm sure it is. I've just found this lovely birch woodland and I'm surrounded by these mossy rocks. I thought this would be the perfect place for me to set up my kit and get an initial woodland recording. There are a few birds singing, so I'm hoping to capture one or two of them, but at the very least we'll get the sound of the alpine atmosphere. So for my kit today, I have brought my Mix Pre 6, which is my interface. I've brought my two omnidirectional microphones, which pick up the sound in 360. With two of them, it sort of emulates the sound of human hearing because they're roughly the width of a human head. And like our ears, they pick up sound from all around. I've put these two little wind buffers on them. These are the DPA 4060s. I also hear the Clippies are really good and are a more affordable option. I've just mounted them to this sound bar. So I've used some Velcro ties. I've used a bit of trusty electrical tape. There are also the little rubber holders that come with the DPAs, which you can slide them through and stick onto the sound bar. But I've got the electrical tape on them just to keep them in place because they do tend to fall off. I've also got a battery pack. This is the anchor and a cable to connect it to my Mix Pre 6 to power the Mix Pre 6 and the microphones. I've got a tripod which I'll mount the soundbar to, and I'm going to set this all up now. So first of all, I'm going to attach the soundbar to my tripod, and this just makes it easier to hold and record. So that's this bit set up. The little microphone tripod setup is ready to go. Next up, I need to hook up the microphones to my Mix Pre 6. I already have the two XLR attachments for the DPAs plugged into the Mix Pre 6. They have these little golden threads, so I just need to thread the DPA cables into those. And I also need to make sure that I'm getting left and right correct. So I have channel 1 as left, channel 2 as right. So now we have our microphones hooked up to the Mix Pre 6. I'll get my power cable, which is USB-C, plug that in to the side, and then plug this into the power bank. Turn the Mix Pre 6 on, and we're ready to go. Now, I just wanted to clarify before I continue that all of this kit is kit that I've bought and invested in along the way on my audio and sound journey, and I'm not sponsored at all. If I'm ever sponsored in the future, I'll let you know. All right, we're ready to go. Let's do some field recording. Okay, I think this is the spot. I'm gonna leave my microphone down here in the snow and leave my bag full of my equipment here. I'm gonna go over there and leave it to record for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll have our alpine tourist recording. Okay, while I'm just doing this recording, speaking quietly just in case the recording took me up, but I'm just sitting down and I'm looking at this rock that's absolutely covered in moss and little plants. I really wish I knew what exactly they were. And this is, again, one of my favourite parts of field recording. So if I'm leaving my kit over there to record, I can just sit down and observe the world around me and see some things that I probably wouldn't have noticed if I was just walking straight through. So yeah, I was just reflecting on that and how nice it is. I think I've probably left the recorder going for about 15 or so minutes now. And while ideally you'd leave it there for hours and see what you pick up, I'm really keen to go to that waterfall. So I'm gonna go pick up my kit now and head over there. Sadly, the birds have been absolutely silent. I think they must have gone to another part of the basin. But who knows, maybe later I'll be able to record some. So on my way to the waterfall, I have found this part of the river, and it's a lovely trickling stream. I imagine later in spring, with more snow melt, this is only going to get faster and have more water in it. Before heading onto the waterfall, I'll just get a recording here as I'm passing through. Because I'm wearing my waterproof trousers and they are very rustly, I'm once again just going to set this up so I can leave it to record for about 5 minutes or so and not have to worry about making any rustly sounds. So I will eventually get to this waterfall, but I've just passed a part of the river that has this amazing glugging sound. And it would be wrong for me to just walk on by, so I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna record it. So once again, I'm just gonna set up my microphone here so that my rustly clothes don't get recorded. And I'm gonna sit out of the way and let it record. It took me a while with all that stopping and starting, but I am finally at the waterfall and it is stunning. There it is. So I've left my recorder recording over there, and I'm just having a wander around, hearing with my own ears just the different sounds or the different ways you can hear the waterfall from different angles. So over this side, you have the river bubbling away from the waterfall, whereas that side you mostly only hear the waterfall. So my plan is to get a recording from both angles. But mostly, I'm just awestruck by this beautiful waterfall, and there's a rainbow that's forming over the pool. It just feels very dreamy to be spending the day here. For my second recording, I've set up the microphone pointing more towards the little river that's coming off of the waterfall. We've got the waterfall over here, so we'll get a bit of that in the recording for sure, since it's so noisy. But hopefully this recording will have more of a mix of the two features. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and experiencing this part of the world and this part of the French Alps. It's been a joy to make it. If you would like to listen to or purchase the sounds I've recorded today, there will be some links in the description below, and you can also find out more about my music and my other projects there as well. But thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to have your support and to read all the comments that people have left on previous videos. So yeah, a huge thanks from me to you. Hope you have a good day. Bye.